Ladies and gentlemen, big show tonight. We have Nate Burleson, the media superstar, the Emmy award-winning host. He's going to be swinging by. We're going to talk to him about what he's into, NFTs, TopShot, talk some NBA playoffs, and even some NFL stuff. Then later on in the show, we have Trey Kerby from No Dunks and some of our VIPs swinging by to open some Holo packs. Let's do it. Damian, you can retire. Let's call up Steve Kerr right now. Tell him you're done. 3-on-2 game.
Oh, I'm an incredible basketball player. Awful shooter. Awful shooter.
Nasty jumper.
Would you ever gamble on shooting?
Here we go.
Me.
Let's see.
We got jaw lighting up again.
On that note, let me go.
All right.
Club Top Shop going up on a Tuesday.
Love. Wait, is that CSU Ram 88 in the club? I didn't think that happened anymore. What's going on?
So happy to be back. I did everything I could to be here today, and yeah, excited to be with you boys. It's been too long. It'll be fun catching up with you guys throughout the show.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
A lot. Yeah, I mean, Ashley's roasting me on Twitter about everything that I'm doing, golfing, going out. But yeah, a lot of work actually, and yeah, trying to be a good dad. And
how was your first Father's Day?
It was awesome. It was the best. Father's Day was like the relaxing day and the most relaxing day in the last couple months. We just hung out at home and watched the U.S. Open, and it was awesome. So yeah, broadly things are good. Just been super, super busy. How about you guys?
Well, Mike, you're coming off of your big tennis match. An emotional loss, it would seem. What's the deal on your Philly trip here?
Do we have the full debrief now? Why don't we give Jack a little opening moment, and then I'll get right into it because I got a lot to say.
We know Mike's going on like a 10-minute soliloquy.
Yeah.
So yes, Jack,
I was allowed 15 minutes per the schedule.
What's up with me? Let's see. How much? Chilling.
NBA playoffs. Any hot takes?
No hot takes, but I just got in a fight with Abe because I do an IG live every year for the Knicks lottery. So this is the first year in a long time that we haven't done it. I normally just get hammered by myself. Knicks always end up with a bad pick, but we were doing our annual live stream. He said he would not trade Ben Simmons for Cade Cunningham, the #1 pick, and Jeremy Grant. So I'm curious what the NBA heads and what the chat think about that, because I think he's out of his mind for that. All the Philly people were saying I wouldn't do that deal. So that's pretty much all that's up with me.
I don't know a bunch about Cade Cunningham, but in general, that seems like take lock. These guys still clutching to their Ben Simmons after it's been a rough few weeks for him.
Exactly.
All right,
my
Mike.
Simmons take is if I'm a struggling franchise right now without a star, without any real direction, I wouldn't mind building around Simmons and kind of building a team that makes sense around him, but he doesn't really fit with Embiid and Tobias and, dare I say, Curry becoming a cornerstone of that franchise.
It's so fun, though.
It's a bad fit.
Look at the chat. Like, you literally have, I would trade Simmons for a bag of chips. Abe's out of his mind. I wouldn't do that if I'm the Pistons. And then people saying, like, I wouldn't even do that if I'm the Sixers. Like, no one knows how to value. Is there an NFL guy, Pete, that you can think of that, like, has this amount of, like, take equity where people are so kind of drawn apart on his value? Like, some people
Tim Tebow?
Okay, no. Everyone in the league knows Tim Tebow sucks.
It's hard because with NFL, it's just the QBs run everything, right? And so it's just like it's hard to find a player that would be so polarizing that isn't objectively either really
Antonio
good or
Brown.
I would be doing everything I could do. I think Ben Simmons is wildly underrated at this point. I know he's coming off a bad playoff series, but it's just not the right team. He needs to be like a point center. Like, he obviously his deficiency is shooting, but he literally, like, the most comparable player to LeBron in the last 20 years is Ben Simmons. They just can't shoot. So I get shooting obviously is so important, and in the playoffs, teams can really oversell him, but he can legitimately guard 1 through 5 better than any player in the NBA, including guys like Draymond Green and Greek Freak. And he's an elite passer, rebounder, playmaker. So on the right team, I think it sets up really well. But with Embiid, it's just a tough fit. Like you need 4 shooters around Ben Simmons, and I think a team could make like like the Portland trade. Like the most obvious trade is like McCollum and something for Ben Simmons. Like that makes sense for both sides. We'll see. The Pacers are rumored. There's a lot of teams that are rumored, but I would be trying to get Ben Simmons right now if I was a different team.
But then my only counter is I agree. I think Ben's great. He's super young. He's not in the right system. But is he good enough to actually build your entire team around? Like, to me, he only fits like a very specific skill set of players. And then you're building an entire roster around one guy. It would almost be like if you built the Warriors around Draymond Green. You know, like Draymond really only fits in that one system where he can be as effective with Steph and Clay. And it's just like you're not going to have Steph and Clay on many other teams.
Yeah, I mean, look what Milwaukee just did with Giannis, and obviously Giannis is a different type of player. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, Mike, tell us what happened in Philadelphia. We saw the grainy stream. I was having a hard time figuring out who was Levy, who was Levy, but it seemed like the people got a great show.
So first 3 positives about the experience. Positive number 1, Eric Belair and Derek, the film crew, did an awesome job. They hustled down to the court and they set up ladders in the opposing corners instead of a pretty cool camera situation, and they kind of just blended into the background. And I haven't watched the footage. I will not be watching the footage, but from what I understand, it was a fun viewing experience. And so a big shout out to those guys for taking the time. Positive thing number 2, I thought that the odds makers did a pretty good job. I mean, for them to set a line, never having seen me play, not really knowing where Levitan's at, and for it to go 3 sets was pretty cool. And third thing was Levitan was a great dude and very gracious in victory. Had a really good time hanging with him. He was a friendly tennis opponent. Tennis has a lot of douchebags involved. Any one-on-one sport where it's a single person playing, there's no team. There's no coach who's like really, really involved. The person gets all the credit for any success. It breeds a lot of attitude and ego and suspect line calls. And Levitan, if anything, gave me a few line calls and didn't come over to the sideline and make a comment about it. I've played a lot of tennis matches where you hit a shot that's a little 50-50. The person will give it to you, but they'll let you know they gave it to you. You'll come to the sideline like, hey, pretty close on that one, huh? And he did none of that. Really gracious player. And we went out for lunch after, we met for drinks later, and had a really good time together. So those were all good things. Now to the match itself. So
why do I feel like you wrote this all out?
I wrote a tweet about it. This is basically my post-mortem tweet, hashed out a little bit. The match itself. So my game plan going in was literally do not miss no matter what. I don't care if the ball goes 5 feet into the court, 10 feet into the court, near the baseline, no double faults, and don't miss, with the theory being you have to be a pretty good tennis player to hit it past someone. And I don't know how good of a tennis player Levitan is, but I expect basically he'll miss before he hits it past me. So it's really hard to justify me hitting a hard shot and going for much to hit it past him. So my theory was do not miss under any circumstances. And I understand it's going to make me look like a bad tennis player on TV. It's going to make the people watching comment and say, why doesn't he go for his shots more? Why doesn't he look like he's trying, so on and so forth? But that was my theory going in. And by the end of the first set, it became pretty clear that Levitan was a much better player than I expected, and he wasn't going to miss a forehand unless I made him miss a forehand, and he didn't give me much room to hit it to his backhand. So I had to make a strategic change in the middle, but part of the challenge was I didn't have too many points to work with for a strategic change. So if you're I don't know if any of you guys play tennis seriously, but if you're kind of pushing the way I was and then you start going for the ball, you're going to miss a few shots first, and that would cost me 3 or 4 games to just get recalibrated. And so the decision I made was, instead of trying to hit out my ground strokes, I was going to push the net and serve and volley and kind of return and volley, and that worked pretty well, but unfortunately not well enough. I was kind of grinding from behind the whole time. I made a little comeback in the second set. Third set, he pulled ahead early, and I had a few chances to kind of get back into it. But at the end of the day, I had to be playing very well, and I definitely felt the pressure of being on the stream. I knew people were watching. I knew people had bet on me, which is kind of a difficult and uncomfortable situation, and I was very conscious of that while playing, to be honest. And I don't know how close you guys were watching, but the first 2 games of the match, I think I missed 5 straight shots and was down 2-0 before I even blinked, and was definitely nervous. And so, I came in with the wrong strategy, was nervous, and didn't have too many points to work with to turn it around and recover. But overall, had a really, really good time. Lost a chunk of money, but is what it is.
So I have 2 questions. One, what makes you say the lines were set well? Because when I was watching, Levitan looked like a very, I don't know if he's watching this, so I'm not going to be too nice, but a very solid tennis player. And then number 2, straight up, what do you think the score in 3 sets would be?
So knowing what I know now, I would probably play a different style against Levitan. I thought my slice is my slice back is my most consistent shot, but it's wasn't doing anything against him. So I could keep hitting it, but he would keep hitting his forehand, and so I would bring out the topspin shots a little bit more often there. So in answer to your question, what would the score be? Maybe like in 6-2, 6-3 range, I guess.
Wow.
In that range, I don't know.
Nate Burleson, I'm bringing you in immediately to save us from this painful tennis talk, Nate. We're here to talk some true sports.
Cut him off. He was talking about the slice. You got to let him talk about his strength, man.
He'll
I'm
go
a tennis fan. I'm a tennis
if we don't stop him, Nate.
Come on now.
If I knew you were a tennis fan, I would have sent you the link of our match in advance so you could help this post-mortem discussion. But I got my butt kicked in a high-stakes live stream tennis match on Friday last week.
I want somebody to challenge me because I feel like that's one of my unused gifts in this lifetime, how skilled I am on the tennis court.
I will challenge you if you'd like to play tennis. I need a win.
You let me know. What? You need a win? You don't want to go up against me, fam. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by this coolness. I am nice on the tennis court.
How often are you playing tennis, Nate?
I used to play a little bit when I was actually in the league, and then my daughter, who's turning 11 in about a week or so, she picked it up. So when I would go to the court, I'd always play around, and the family and I would get out on the court. And I just feel like I'm a dominant tennis player. In another lifetime, I was a professional tennis player.
There you go. Well, definitely got to give you a proper introduction here. Nate Burleson, former NFL wide receiver, now on every single program. You are all over the place, racking up Emmys. Welcome to the show, Nate. We're excited to talk with you tonight.
I appreciate it, man. Shout out to my guy Jack and Clay and the whole crew, everybody that wanted me to come on. I'm excited, man. I'm here to talk about everything, bro. And it's not just football. Jack knows we done talked plenty of times. I'm like, look, if we ever connect and talk sports, I get that you want to talk football, which I'm open for. I can talk football all day long, but I love sports in general. So I'm open for whatever you guys want to talk about. And I'm doing the entertainment thing. So if you guys want to talk about some pop culture stuff, I'm with it too.
Yeah, or we could talk about wing phones. I know we're wing phone Eskimo brothers here, right?
That's a fact, 100%.
There you go. Yeah, no, we definitely want to get some football takes from you, but this is ostensibly an NBA show, NFT show. I actually didn't get a lot of intel from Clay, who shout out Clay for also helping arrange this. Are you in the TopShot streets, the NFT streets at all?
Well, listen, I just set up my account. You know, I'm getting hip to it. You know, I definitely have something in the works when it comes to the NFTs because I'm a creative at the end of the day. I know there's like a particular sports space that a lot of athletes are getting involved in it with, but with me, I'm a little bit different in the sense that I've tap dance and music and poetry. So I'm trying to find a unique way to kind of blend all of these things that I'm interested in, which is music, poetry, art, and sports, and giving some really like unique NFTs that I think people aren't really tapping into.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and I think that's the trap for a lot of stuff right now is it looks very similar or feels similar. And I think a lot of people have NFT fatigue right now where it's like another thing comes out. Although on the other hand, then there's stuff like the craniums come out or the Yetis and everyone's going crazy for the new thing. So maybe there isn't fatigue. Pete, what from a distance here, what has been your bird's eye view on the NFT space right now? Because it seems slightly decoupled from the price of Ethereum, which continues to drop.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I think we're seeing a lot of copycat stuff or similar type of ideas. And that's where what Nate's bringing up, like people should be trying to create utility and do something different and unique. And that's what I hope we see. And I think we'll see centralized stuff come out from some of these big companies and platforms. We'll obviously see artists, athletes, entertainers do things. And my view is that, just like we saw from like 2018 through 2020, a lot of great stuff was built during the bear market. And I think these cash grabs and all these things with, kind of this recent, trend after all the mania, like hopefully we see more unique stuff and more utility. So that's what I'm personally hopeful for. And there's been a lot of investment in the space. So I think, the best things are built during these bear markets.
Yeah. And go ahead, Jack.
Well, I just wanted to ask Jennings if he ever played Nate in any of his lineups back in his OG DFS days.
I had to. I mean, I played so often. I had to have played him.
I wasn't sure if you had like a story
of the Seahawks days or the Viking days. I had to have.
I just hope it wasn't one of the years where I was injured, because here's like, if you just go back to my career, I got injured every other season, but there were a couple of years where I hit 1,000 my second year. And there was a few other years where I was like 800, 900. And then I got injured at the end of the season. So, I get one of two things. I get, hey, yo, Nate, what's up, bro? Nice to meet you, man. Oh, snap. Hey, listen, man, you won me some fantasy leagues. I appreciate you, man. I owe you dinner. And then I get the other guy who's like, hey, yo, Nate, what's up with you crashing the car for the pizza, fam? Like, season, bro. So I get both ends, and I have ultimate respect for both sides. I, dap them up and laugh it off.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, I was just saying, you're mentioning tennis. If you had to pick another sport, you had to go all in on another sport outside of tennis and football, what would be your sport?
You're talking about from a personality standpoint, or something I think I'd be good at? Like, what do you mean?
Something that you'd be good at, or maybe something that you enjoy. It doesn't necessarily have to be the thing you're the next best at, but what else would you have really enjoyed?
One of the most nerve-wracking things is golf. I respect it tremendously. I have my clubs in the garage, and I'm one of those individuals. I feel like I have a decent swing, and if I golf more often, I will probably have a better handicap. But golf is definitely at the top of the list, because I also know myself. I'm a team first athlete. I am better when I'm with the squad. That's why I work better in groups on my shows. Oftentimes I feel more comfortable when I'm talking with people versus being on a stage by myself. I kind of go back to when I was in high school. I used to have like performance anxiety. So like at the free throw line, I was nervous as hell. But like when I had the ball in my hand and I'm running the offense, I was an all-state point guard. But I wasn't like Ben Simmons at the line. I'm just saying, I didn't like being at the line. Now, when it comes to a sport that I just respect wholeheartedly, rugby is it. I feel like rugby is the craziest sport, just like from a respect from a distance. It has the endurance that you need to be a great soccer player, which, I mean, come on, all they're doing is running. The hand-eye coordination, you need to be, I would say, maybe a great hockey athlete, but you got to have the toughness of like an MMA fighter. Like, just think about like those dynamics. And then all the while, you're not wearing any pads, maybe a mouth guard, but a lot of those guys are toothless. So I feel like some of them don't. So I feel like rugby is like that one sport where I'll just from a distance, like tip my hat and say, I can't do what you guys do. Like, I feel like I can do a lot of things. I ain't that tough. You know what I mean?
Pete, you're always angling for prop bets here. Do you want to do a rugby prop bet with Nate?
No rugby, but he mentioned basketball. I'd shoot for money, and that's about it. But yeah, I agree on rugby. My good friend growing up from South Africa was actually led, like we had a couple schools. There's multiple rugby teams, but not just like your high school had a team. And he led them to a state championship, then a national championship.
Wow.
It was awesome. I went out and followed him, and like the tackling is incredible. That's the one thing I think. I mean, obviously in the NFL, it's a totally different game. It's just all explosive. It's really quick twitch. And obviously there's going to be big hits and things of that nature. But I have a big appreciation for how rugby players tackle. I know it wasn't in Seattle. Wasn't it Pete Carroll who brought out like the rugby coach? Or who brought out the rugby coach to say, hey, this is how we should tackle? Because going low, like that makes a lot of sense, especially if you're just like wrapping them up versus like, I mean, no one wants to see cheap shots diving at the knees.
Yeah, it's always a clinic tape tackle because they stick this shoulder right into the gut of the ball carrier. I think Pete brought out a guy. There's been a few teams over the last handful of years that actually brought out players to come out and try out for teams. So Jordan Mailata, I think he was with the Philadelphia Eagles for a little bit. Big, massive individual. So I definitely respect rugby players. That's for sure.
Welcome to the show, Andy, our resident crypto extraordinaire. You coming from an open house, Andy?
No, I was actually coming from a NFT dinner in New York.
Yeah. What was it? What does an NFT dinner look like?
It's not real.
It was. So I was on a podcast recently with this guy named Nick, and he said, like, hey, I'm having a dinner with a bunch of people who I guess he had done the podcast with or who work in NFTs. Some people that, like Fewocious, the artist, was there, which was cool. Got to say hi to them. Never met them before. And then just a lot of like people working in the space. Drew from Drew Ventures or Red something Ventures.
Redbeard Ventures, yeah.
Yeah, Redbeard Ventures was there. I talked to him for a while, which was cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry for being late.
No, yeah. You will have to stay for detention after. No, we're talking to Nate about what other sports he would maybe be into if it wasn't football. We're talking a little tennis, a little rugby. We've learned that Nate might be cooking up some kind of NFT that involves tap dancing is now what I have in my head, Nate.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, let's get back to that for a second, because I said that there are these NFTs that, of course, they're one of a kind, right? That is at the very core of it, the foundation. But then when you see certain items, you're like, okay, there's something out in the world that exists like that. I feel like if you look at some of the rare things that athletes have done back in the day, and if they were NFTs, how expensive or valuable will they be? Let's just say like Iverson tried his hand at rapping one time, and I think it was like 40 bars or 40 diamonds or something. And listen, I respect Iverson. That's my dog. I met him. I played in his charity game. I think he would agree he wasn't the best rapper. But like, say like that thing was stayed under wraps forever, and somebody was like, yo, I got this NFT. It's a full song of Iverson rapping that nobody has ever heard. Because we've heard it circulate so many times, it doesn't have the same type of popularity. Or maybe there's even recordings of Iverson rapping that never were released. Like, to me, those are special. Like, if Kobe never released his raps, or if there's audio of Kobe rapping over songs that nobody has ever heard, like, that's the dope shit. Or Calvin Johnson, for example. He's a really good artist. I fancy myself as an artist. I thought I was going to be one. I used to paint and draw when I was younger. So me and Calvin connected in that sense, being OGs in the locker room and OGs in the receiver room. When the coach was going over film and the plays for the next week, we knew it like the back of our hands. So oftentimes we either be like drawing little notes that would make each other laugh and pass them around the room like knucklehead kids in the back of the class, or we'd just be doodling, just whatever. And Calvin would doodle a lot. And I told him, I was like, bro, you should release this as art. And this is much before NFT or the thought of it even existed. So I'm thinking now, like Calvin Johnson, the Hall of Famer, the man as we know as Megatron, like those pieces of art being released as an NFT, like how many things can this new generation of athletes, like what can they do outside of the expected? You know, we oftentimes think, I think not us now, but there was a general thought that athletes should just be athletes, bro. I don't care if you think you can rap. We don't want you to rap. Or I don't care if you think you should act. I don't want you to act. But if there's like an audition tape of Joe Montana when he wanted to be a soap opera star, like that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if there's a space that these athletes really want to find themselves in that's unique, do something that's so rare 20 years from now, people would kill themselves to have it. I think that is like a very unique space that NFTs could exist for athletes. It's a little bit more traditional than a gold-plated football signed by Holmes. Like, that's dope, but like, I mean, you know, I don't know.
The Calvin Johnson.
I totally agree.
Super dope. I mean, Calvin Johnson, I mean, just stepping away from the game the way he did, I think I have a ton of respect for that and just how he thought about his body and his future, his family and everything. And then hearing that he has an artistic side, like I totally agree, Nate. Like investing in something that's unique about the athlete versus just, hey, I was a star football player, here's a football hologram or whatever. Like, here's a play of me doing football. Like, obviously that's cool, but yeah, I think that's the big thing that's changing right now. You see it a ton in the NBA. You're seeing it more in other sports as well. Like, these athletes are investors, they're entertainers, they're showing off their other skill sets. And I think people want to see that.
Yeah, I think too, like you said, Nate, there's this room for it to let your personality shine through, because that's ultimately what they want. It's like, I can buy your jersey, but what's the next level to that? Where is the personal connection with it, where I can feel like that I have more of a piece of it than just, some piece of laundry. And I think that's where stuff can be more, tapped for sports fans specifically, where it goes beyond memorabilia.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I feel like there's an opportunity for athletes who aren't traditional speakers, due to them being introverts or they don't want to be in the limelight. They can start telling stories. I do something on Good Morning Football. It's called Campfire Football, where I tell the locker room stories. I tell the very unique ones, the off the field stories, the ones that you don't really get on TV because, we got to get to the commercial break and let's get to the next segment, the next topic. So it became a really popular segment. And that actually led to an animated series I did when I was just telling more stories about the guys I played with and certain moments that you might have seen, but here's the behind the scenes. Now, I'm just a regular dude, right? I guess respected by my peers, carved out a good career after I got done playing. But say like Peyton Manning took a jersey from a memorable game, maybe a game where he broke a record or, when he won the Super Bowl. And he tells you a never before heard story along with that jersey. That's a game worn and all that. A never before heard story about what happened leading up to the game, the night before, how he slept, maybe a memorable dream that he had before an epic game, kind of like what he ate, takes you all the way through every moment, every single play. I'm talking about to the point where they can start to add elements while they're telling this story. So you literally feel like you're in this moment and then you're like, boom, okay, this is mine. I have this forever. A story that has never been told by an absolute legend in the sport. I think that's unique. Like even me as a player, like I would want that, like a story that has only been told to me and I can hold that forever, invest in it wisely. And then the next generation of fan, 10, 20, 30 years from now will say, I want that. I want that story. I heard about the story, but I want to hear it myself firsthand. Like that's an investment that I think people will forever continue to put money into.
Do you have any physical sports memorabilia that is the crown jewel of your collection, or is that not stuff you collect as much?
I do. I have a ton of stuff. I have obviously a ton of cards when I first got in the league, because as a child, I was really into cards. So as soon as I had an opportunity to get these deals with these companies, they were, all right, we'll pay you a ton of cash, or we can give you like some cards to take with you. And a lot of guys are like, just give me the cash, F the cards. And I'm like, nah, bro, like I want the cards, man. Like cut down on the cash. I think cards are cool. So I have a ton of those, of course. And then every jersey I played in, I have certain pieces of certain stadiums and some grass that I played at, some memorable places like Lambeau and stuff like that. I remember Calvin Johnson was on the cover of Madden. And, I'm a big Madden guy. I love Madden. And I remember getting a knock at my door, and it was late too. It was around this time of night, like 9 something. And this is when my kids were young. And I'm like, who the hell is pulling up at my house? And I look through the peephole and I don't see nothing. It's like just a black spot. And I'm like, what is going on? Is somebody putting their hand over the peephole? And I opened up the door, and it was Calvin Johnson. So he didn't put his hand over. He's just so big that you couldn't see his face. It's just peephole's like right here. So I'm like, yo, what's up? What's up, CJ? And like he had this big ass, like, let's see, this is like a box that's here for my wife. But it was like this big, but maybe add a couple more inches. Massive like box, but it was like see-through, and it was all shiny. And he's so strong, he was like holding it behind his, he was like holding it like this. Like he was like this. Hey man, I got something for you. And it was obviously like it would have took 2 of me to hold it up. And and then he puts it down so I can see the top of it. And it's the Madden case that they gave him as like a thank you for being on the cover of Madden. And I'm like, I'm like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, this is for you and your boys. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I know your boys in the video game and you're really into Madden. And like, I just want to give it to you. I was like, yo, CJ, like, I don't want that. Like, come on, bro. I was like, oh, they must have gave you like 10 of these. He's like, nah, this is the only one. I'm like, whoa. And you open it up and it's Madden. This is like the Madden game. And he had autographed a pair of his Megatron gloves with the Megatron logo. Some custom Beats by Dre headphones that were like matte blue with the logo on it, and a little pamphlet, and it's just gloss, like sliding glass top. And I was like, I literally was just like, what the bro? Like, why would you get this to me? He's like, oh man, that's when like he went from like, this is my teammate, my brother, to like, I just seen like a different side of him because he was just so cool like that. And it also spoke to like him not caring about that stuff. Like Calvin never cared about this stuff. He never talked about money, never talked about how much money he made or where people saw him. Like I remember a commercial came out and it was like Diddy was like his it was like his voice. And like, you know, Key and Peele did the like Barack Obama like translator.
Yeah, the anger translator.
Yeah, so like Diddy, the Nike commercials like Diddy like, yo, I'm Calvin Johnson, I'm the best. And I thought the commercials were funny because like that was me, like every single week. Like Calvin had like a 300-yard game. He's at his locker, like all chill. And I come in like, hey, everybody relax. Give him some room. Give him some room. Calvin, you want me to take this for you? And I start BSing and answering questions. And Calvin be like, thanks, bro. I got it. And I'll go back to my locker. So like Calvin was cool, man. Like it was just cool to see somebody that I was so cool with, so close with, have this softer side that was so unique. And you didn't see that. You didn't see that in receivers. Like we're typically divas. So, you know, he was a freak of nature. I'll tell you one more story that I don't think I ever told. This is an NFT story. So we're in Hawaii for the Pro Bowl, right? Calvin makes the Pro Bowl and he tells all the receivers like, yo, if you make it to California, there's a private jet waiting. We'll all go to Hawaii. I'll get hotel rooms. We'll chill. It's a week on me. He said, no, the Pro Bowl is whatever to me, but like sharing it with my boys who supported me all year, like that's important. So of course, all the receivers was like, oh, we're going to be in LA. So we pull up in LA. We get there. You got steak with the champagne and the wine and the liquor on the plane. And we're just vibing, you know, 5-hour flight or whatever is to Miami, having a good old time. Calvin's just chilling, like relaxing. I mean, he's having a good time. He's drinking, eating. But like you would have thought we made the Pro Bowl. We're in there like, yeah, we did it. Going down, baby. So fast forward, like us just like on these scooters, like straight scooter gang through Hawaii. It's like, like near crashes, stopping and looking at the sunshine like old people. Like it was crazy. Then we went to this hilltop, like is a windy road all the way to the top peak where we could see over Hawaii. And it was just like one of the moments that we all knew we'd remember forever. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids at the Sandlot, you know what I'm saying? Just like right before they pickled the beast, you know what I'm saying? We was like, yo, this is epic. You know what I'm saying? And so then we're headed down this windy hill. And we were all trying to race each other. Like, think about it. We're grown men with millions, but really we're just like old ass teenagers and reckless on scooters. Like that's who we were. We're just like trying to race each other downhill. Calvin takes the lead, right? He cuts us off and we're on the outside lane. So there's cars coming up and we're going down. Calvin's going down. Now it's blind, right? Because we're turning around this corner and we're looking at him and we're like, kind of like, yo, like slow down, like watch out for the car. As he's turning, he kind of turns too tight. So he's it's only one way, one lane each. As he's turning, he turns into the lane and there is a car, like legit a car coming. I would say it's about 4 yards away from him. This is what Calvin does. So say he's on the scooter, right? He's like this. He's like, he sees this car, right? Puts his feet on the ground, picks up the scooter, tosses it, and runs into like the grass area outside this car, right? Let me repeat this. Puts his feet on the ground, picks up the scooter, tosses it, and then runs to the grass. Now, we've seen Calvin do crazy stuff in practice. We've seen him like do these one-handed catches. We've seen him create highlight moments that would have you just in awe, right? We've seen it all. In that moment, you have like 6 or 7 grown dudes on scooters, and we're all just like, because one, it was like he got so close to the car, but two, who picks up a scooter and without even like he wasn't like, oh, he was like, whoop, and just moved it out the way, and they just kind of ran into the grass, and he kind of laughed it off, and then we got back on the scooters, and the whole time we were just all like, that was the craziest thing we've ever seen. And Calvin was just like, he didn't really think about how crazy it was. It was kind of like him on the field. He'll do something crazy, and we're all going nuts, and he's just kind of like, oh, I guess I'm superhuman. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you get the Transformers nickname, is you're literally transforming vehicles off to the side of the road.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, it was wild. You know what's crazy is like we used to joke with Calvin. You remember that little alien in Men in Black? And he's like, the light of Zarda, or whatever he said, you know, it's in Orion's belt, or whatever he said. We used to joke, and we'd be like, bro, we know you got the little alien. You're not from the planet. You're not from our planet. Like, just be honest. Or like he'll be talking, he'll like glitch for a second and be like, and we'll be like, oh, that alien glitched inside your head. Like, you're talking to yourself, bro. You're an alien. So that was one of the moments where we'd be like, yo, CJ, you are a different type of dude. So yeah, that's a couple of Calvin Johnson stories for you.
That's incredible. I think we now know the Calvin Johnson NFT. So it's an NFT of these hand drawings. And the utility is, first of all, he shows up to your door with it and you get to see him through the people. And then you go on a scooter trip with him in Hawaii. I think it's all right there.
That's $1 million NFT right there.
Oh my goodness. That is so good. That is so good. Andy, what do you think about I mean, you're our NFT guy, our NFT extraordinaire. Is there something here? What can Nate do? I saw people asking in here, you know, what are the ways athletes can get really creative with NFTs? And I know you're thinking about this stuff a lot with Fractional.
Yeah, well, I really like what Nate was saying about like doing stuff that's more personal to what people are interested in kind of outside of their sport or what people know them for primarily. I think that kind of stuff is really cool and just like an interesting way to I think it's just you have a closer connection to the artwork or really whatever it is when you feel like you're getting to know someone better or like supporting something that they're just purely interested in outside of it being someone's career. Because like obviously Nate loved football when he played football, but like I know that and I can go buy some cards of him playing football if I want to or you know some NFT of him playing football. But it's significantly more interesting or meaningful to me if he, you know, he's into art and he makes some piece of artwork that he turns into an NFT because there's a little more connection. Like you were saying, I think that stuff is really cool. Like I know there's the Micah Johnson, I think is his name, who was a baseball player. I'm not sure he still plays baseball. No. I don't really follow baseball.
Yeah, I did a panel with him the other day about NFTs. If anyone wants to see it, he's the coolest thing. Continue on though.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't really know that much about his exact story, but I know he used to play pro baseball, and now he's like a very successful NFT artist, and a lot of his stuff has a lot of story about kind of himself and his artwork and stuff. I'm not as educated on it as I'd like to be, but like to me, the general idea of where that's coming from is just significantly more like it's easier to get behind and be excited about than if he had just made some pictures of him playing baseball. And sold those.
So the background is actually he was drawing his nephew, I think, wanted to be an astronaut. And so he would like sketch it out and draw him when they would hang out. And then it's called Aku. And they actually created an entire character and they put this character in all these different worlds. And they already got a movie that's being made. So yeah, so it's really, really cool. And it's like 10 stories with Aku in it. Each chapter is sold as an NFT. But to Andy's point, like there's something that was thought out about this stuff. It has nothing to do with him being a baseball player. He leveraged those relationships. He might have leveraged the fact that he had fans from that, but it's actually completely separate and it's major storytelling. And Nate, I know a lot of the stuff you're doing now is extending your career way past what a lot of people do. And I think that's where even if it's for you now or guys in the league, right? The LaMelo NFT is great because it's going to be minted throughout his career and you can kind of track that. But like the second he retires or the second his career starts to tail off, like who is LaMelo Ball? What do we care about? Right. So I think, Aku is really, really cool. You guys should definitely check that out. But I have no doubt that Nate, you'll figure out, what the right space to play in is. For sure.
And I feel like because storytelling is so much of who I am as a media personality, and that's what people know me for, whether it's CBS, NFL Today on Sundays, Good Morning Football, working for Extra, talking to celebrities, even like being the voice of DraftKings. Like I think I've done a ton of storytelling. So like people have heard some of like my greatest hits, in other words, but there's so much more that I could talk about, but it's almost like, I would want to partner up, you know what I mean? So it's like maybe the NFT space for an athlete like myself might be partnering up with individuals that I can bring the story out of. So if I said I have the Calvin Johnson collection of NFTs, it's going to be a 5-part series. It's going to be everything from, his art, his doodles, to his stories, to something tangible. Boom, we get that off. And then I reach out to Randy Moss and I'm like, yo, Randy Moss stories. And we're going to talk about everything from his rookie year when he tore up the league to, when people thought he was washed when he played in Oakland or Tennessee and when he made a comeback with the Patriots or the Vikings. Like, I think like getting these stories out of guys that haven't told them, like that's the space that really could be unique.
Yeah. And there's something about it too. The kind of conversations you're describing are ones that haven't happened because it does feel like they're meant for a smaller audience. And an NFT could naturally create that more comfortable environment where obviously you could pull those stories out of them, but it's like, how much is Calvin willing to share with the general public? Well, what if it's just 200 people who have that NFT? He might be willing to open up to those people who are super invested in hearing those stories.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And what are your guys' thoughts about, the idea of building one of these video series and then selling it off in an auction or whatever else, and the person who buys it has commercial and distribution rights to it, and they can go ahead and sell it to HBO or sell it to CNN or ESPN or anyone else who wants to air it on TV, but they have the revenue rights to it, and making that a new sort of media distribution model.
I'm just curious, before we actually get into the idea, is there something similar with like book rights, right? Like could Calvin Johnson sell his life story? Could Nate Burleson sell his life story? Is that something they do with books? Like similar to what you're talking about, Mike?
So I don't know. I mean, obviously there are biographies where I assume that either with the individual, if they're still alive, or someone's estate, there would have to be some sort of agreement. I don't know if there's a financial agreement or it's a revenue share type thing. I think at least, I don't know, maybe someone can draw from publicly available information. I really don't know the answer to that. Maybe someone in the chat knows.
I think you're onto something when it comes to being able to tell your story, whether it's in a conversation between 1, 2 to maybe even 10 people, and then selling off that raw copy, that raw cut to anybody that wants it, whether it's an individual or a network that's like, man, I haven't heard those stories before. We could produce that up like crazy. We have the rights to the images. We have the rights to the video. Like, let's go ahead and take that. And it's happening right now. It's just happening in a different form. What happens is guys might record something, even self-produce it up, and then they'll go pitch it to these networks the very traditional way. What happens is the networks, they say, hey, work for us. Or come on, we'll pay you for a couple of shows. Hey, tell that story on our network. And then that network forever has it. But what happens is with those type of stories, they're rarely retold. That's why I oftentimes try to find different ways to tell the same story, because if I show up on Good Morning Football and I spend 8 minutes talking about the time I saw, Randy Moss pump fear in the DB so bad it looked like he pissed on himself, and then tell that story so eloquently with the storylines, and I make you feel like you're actually there in the game, and you're like, oh, snap, that's wild. What happens in TV, I can't turn around and tell that story another 5 months from now and another 5 months from now, because the exhausting thing about being on TV is it's fast food content. So people want your information. They're like, yummy, yummy, yummy. That was delicious. What else do you got? And don't give me the same thing. Don't give. I just had the cheeseburger. Don't give me the cheeseburger. You got chicken? You got chicken? Do you got steak? So like that's exhausting, and that's why it's hard to show up every day and give people what they want on TV. But in this scenario, when we're talking NFTs, maybe a group of guys come together and they say, hey, listen, we got how many guys? 5 guys in this room. We're going to split this up, 50 ways. And we're going to tell 10 stories each. I'll be the moderator and the narrator. And we're going to leverage this. And we're going to make sure we get what we want out of it. Because whoever produces this up, similar to great documentaries done by NFL Network, ESPN, or whoever it is, like when ESPN does a 30 for 30, that's really good. They don't just run it one time. They'll put it on whenever they want, and we'll watch it and we'll sit down because we love the Bo Jackson one. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like that's what this could be if done right. And it really is you cut out the middleman. You don't have to go to your agent and have your agent go to a network and then your network hire you on a day count and pay you $2,000 a day. And then you feel like you told your stories and you can never tell them again. I do feel like there's an opportunity there if done right.
So, but how do you think about that? Because the idea of cutting out the middleman, you have very good access to the middleman. You have personalities with a lot of these legacy or relationships with a lot of these legacy media. I bet you can go and pitch a lot of these guys on a Nate Burleson interviews Randy Moss, interviews Calvin Johnson, and they, pull out the red carpet to have you do that. So where is ultimately the appeal of going about it through this NFT direction?
Because if I go to a network and I say, hey, I got this interview with Calvin Johnson and I work for the network, they're going to say, okay, bring him in. We're not paying you extra, bro. You already got a salary. This is part of your job. You're just recruiting talent to come on the show. Yeah. Even if I go to another network, they'll say, oh, you're going to do an interview and sit down with Calvin Johnson? Okay, cool. I mean, we'll fly you out. We'll put you in a hotel. We'll pay for production. And maybe we'll pay you a day rate, but we're not going to pay you before it's produced up. We're going to do the heavy lifting. Even though they're not, they're like, we're going to do the production stuff. So we'll pay you a little bit to sit down with them. Cool. You guys want some food? We'll cater it in. Like that's what it is. But you know what NFT is? It's putting the power in the athlete's hand, because before there's so many avenues that we felt like we needed to go to get stuff done. Our agent, our marketing team, our football agent, our TV agent, our network, people that kind of run our management squad. Like there's all of these ways that we feel like, okay, I got an idea. I got a product. I got something I want to do. I got an idea. And then somebody's like, okay, you got an idea? Okay, I know somebody that sells books and they write books. Oh, you got an idea? Okay, I know somebody in the music industry. Oh, you got an idea? You want a t-shirt line? Okay, I know somebody that works in fashion. Like there's always somebody you have to go to get to the end goal. The NFT for an athlete is like the music artist going independent and betting on himself. And I think this is the first time in a long time that athletes have been in this space. And the bold artist that is willing to go independent and has the hustle to match it, he can really benefit off of that. Instead of going and signing some crazy deal with, some type of record label and they're screwing you out of most of your money, you can just hustle and make 95% of the streams that you put out there or the CDs that you sell out of your trunk. That's what the NFT is for the athlete. Because what athletes realize now is we can get stuff off the ground without everybody else putting their hand in the pot. And that's why this is special.
Yeah.
I agree. To Johnny's point, I was going to say this, but he just posted it in the comments here, Johnny Brady. I think from the fan or the collector side of things, it's also a fantastic way to make direct connection with an athlete like you, Nate, or anyone who you're a fan of, and a way to directly connect with someone or to bet on an athlete in a way that you haven't really done before. A young athlete who's up and coming, who you think is going to have a great career. You can buy an early NFT of theirs that has future benefits, and really you stand to benefit from career success above and beyond just sports card price going up over time. And I think as a fan, that's a huge benefit. And the athletes benefit, the fans benefit, and it's really just the middleman or the owners who lose out on some of theirs. But so be it. That's innovation.
Yeah, listen, I'm a big fan of like mafia movies, mobster movies. The cocaine cowboys and drug kingpin movies. You know what I'm saying? Like the Pablo Escobar and Narcos and Scarface. The reason I bring that up is because this is like when you're watching a movie and you're like, this is the pure uncut raw. And you're like, oh, snap, that might be the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? And you see somebody do the drug in whatever case it is, and they're like, yo, this is as pure as it gets. It's not stepped on. It doesn't change a lot of hands. I don't want people listening and be like, is Nate a drug dealer? Like, what's going on? No, I'm not at all. I just watch a lot of movies. The point I'm trying to make is, like, this is, like Johnny was saying, it is direct to consumer. It isn't stepped on. It isn't like, it doesn't go through a lot of hands where you're like, what is this? Like, is this all baking soda? Nah, you giving the fan who wants this NFT like that pure, uncut, raw, unadulterated, unstepped on version of whatever it is, whatever that piece is, whatever that art is, whatever that tangible material item is. It's the rawest form because it's straight from the source, like it's out of Colombia. You feel me?
So with, one thing everyone around here is excited about is an NFL version of TopShot. And, that gets a lot of us excited, but it sounds like for you guys and for the players in particular, that might not hold as much intrigue. It's doing your own NFTs, being able to do direct to consumer stuff, cutting out even an NFT middleman. Is there any excitement in the league or people you talk to about NFL licensed NFT project?
Yeah, no doubt about it. If it's done right, anything that is built to empower the athlete. Yeah, I think athletes are all for it. But if there's a disconnect between, the athlete and this actual platform, then I think athletes will be hesitant. But I think in order to put something together like that, you have to have an athlete involved, or at least at the forefront, or at least on the board, and somebody that can raise their hand and say, nah, I've been on the ground root to this. This is as real as it gets. This platform is for you. It's for the athlete. It's for the people. I think when you have something like that, I think that athletes will be less hesitant.
Yeah, for sure. And I have to ask, do you have a TopShot account? Are you in those streets?
I do. I just got hip to it. Clay was like, yo, bro, you need to get this TopShot. You know what I'm saying? You need to get hip to it. Stop being lame. He didn't use those exact words, but I think that was how I read his text exactly. So I just got on.
Nice, dude. Okay, what's your account here? What's your account name?
It's Nate B206.
Nate B206.
Y206.
Yeah, Y206.
I'm from the 206. I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
That's where I was raised.
Okay.
Who's
You got me?
I feel like we've talked about this, but who were your favorite players? You like all the Seattle guys growing up, but what about right now? Who are your current favorite players?
All right. I feel like Chris Paul got looked over when it comes to the MVP. And I feel like this past year, actually last year too, before the quarantine, Chris Paul was cooking. He was getting busy. Even the year prior, he was going crazy towards the tail end of his career, with Houston, and even previous to that with the Clippers. Like, Chris Paul has always had the worst of luck come like the end of the season or postseason. And I almost thought that was going to continue with him getting this COVID case, but it looks like he's back tonight. He's this guy I want to give credit to. I wouldn't necessarily say he's my favorite, but being a point guard in high school, I always lean a little bit more towards guys that can handle the rock, be floor generals, and not turn the ball over. Like, that's so key when it comes to a guy running the squad. As far as scores, I'm partial to Kevin Durant because I am a Seattle guy, and they did draft him. And then him bouncing back from that Achilles injury, like, guys don't usually bounce back from that. You see it in the NFL. Achilles usually slows down, shuts down guys' careers. He bounced back from that, and I think he's even better than he was before. So I feel like he's going down as maybe the best scorer of all times. And I know that's tough to say, and it's tough for traditionalists to understand. But they're like, man, I don't know. Like, you got Jordan and Kobe and Oscar Robinson and Kareem. How could you feel about Kareem with the hooks? I get it. Those guys are legends in their own right. And, they are going to be in your top five, however you put them. But when it's all said and done, Kevin Durant he might have the most unstoppable shot. After the sky hook, it's Kevin Durant because of his height and his ability. He shoots like slightly over his head. So even if you're 6'9", 6'10", you still can't block it. I mentioned Kobe. Rest in peace. Gotta say rest in peace, Kobe. But Devin Booker is Kobe Bryant reincarnated. And people say he's the next Kobe. He's not the next Kobe because he's Kobe Bryant with a pure jumper. So like, obviously we got to show Kobe love. You never want to say, well, Devin Booker's way better than Kobe. I'm not going to disrespect Kobe like that. But I'll just say he does have a pure jumper. So think about it. If we're making Kobe comparisons, what is this, year 6 for Devin Booker? And I'm telling you, he has a pure jumper. What is going to be the ceiling for this dude's career? In his first conference game, the dude hits a triple-double, the 40-burger triple-double. Like, that's crazy. So, I love him. And I got to give love to the big fellas, Luka and Jokic. Like, for them guys to move the way they move, Luka's a little bit more agile than Jokic, but, like, they're not fast. They're not agile. They're not dunking on you crazy. Like, I'm a true fan of basketball. I loved basketball before I fell in love with football, and it still is my favorite sport. They are Larry Bird, but they just don't have the popularity and the championships to match to parallel Larry Bird's career. So I would say those are my guys that stand out. And of course, the king, LeBron James. Let me just say something right now. When it comes to LeBron, the argument is, well, we went to the finals, and the finals, you got Jordan went to 4. Jordan went to 6, and he won 6. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same argument with Tom Brady and Joe Montana. Joe Montana went to 4, and he won 4. All right, let me ask you this. Let me just ask you this. For everybody that makes the argument, which I understand and I get. What's harder, okay? Going to 4, let's just say Joe Montana. Going to 4 Super Bowls and winning 4, or going to 9 Super Bowls and winning 7, right? Did he win? He won 7. Tom Brady won 7. Is it 7? Yeah. So what's harder? Like, people don't talk about the years where Joe Montana didn't go to the playoffs or he didn't go to the Super Bowl. So you can make the argument about, I'm a Jordan guy. I grew up. I'm an 80s baby raised in the 90s. Of course I love MJ, bro. Like, you can't tell me any different. You know what I'm saying? But, like, LeBron going to as many finals as he has, like, that's harder. What's harder? Getting to the mountaintop 3 times and conquering it and stamping your flag and putting it down, or getting to the mountaintop 8 times and only getting your flag down 3 and stumbling and losing your flag at the top of the mountain, the other 3 or 4 times. I just feel like when people make that argument about getting there and winning every time you get there, just understand, as the athlete, a guy who sniffed the Super Bowl and has the ultimate respect for guys who get to that point, it is hard as hell to get into the playoffs, let alone get to the finals of the NBA, get to the Super Bowl, play in the World Series, win the Stanley Cup. Like, you get there more often, man, you get credit for that. Like, you can't dismiss that, period.
Nate, as you were talking
too. What about, like, LeBron's first finals appearance? That the team that he drug into that finals, I mean, it was, I don't want to rag on those guys, but, like, that was a borderline playoff team almost. It's LeBron James and a bunch of average to below average players.
That's a fact.
It's the Warriors, the Dream, like the total stud teams. Like, I'm completely in agreement there. I've always known.
I think that they're obviously the 2 greatest ever in my opinion. I'm a Jordan over LeBron guy because I think fate of the universe on the line. I want the guy who's going to win there. It doesn't have to diminish, but I'm always curious, right? Because like you said, Nate, you're 80s baby, raised in the 90s. I'm curious if it was reversed. If Jordan came, so LeBron 10 finals, 4 and 6 in the finals, has every record pretty much, longevity wise. If a guy came along after him and won 6 for 6 and got close to all his records with all the theatrics that Jordan came, I'm very curious because my generation, 25, sub 25, LeBron's their guy. LeBron,
right?
Like, that's who, and so this generation is pushing very hard for LeBron to be the GOAT. And then the 80s, they hold on to Jordan, and I'm one of the rare ones who leans Jordan. But I always like to think, like, if Jordan came along and won the 6 out of 6, would that be more impressive, or would they be like, Well, the guy before you's been to 10 and has every record in the books, and you haven't broke. So I always like to think about it that way. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. If the roles were reversed and we were comparing them, vice versa. And I agree. Listen, when it comes to fate of the universe on the line. I mean, come on. We all saw Space Jam 1. We seen this movie, bro. He's going to stretch from half court. We get it. We're going to get a ball to MJ. But if you're asking me who's the best all-around player ever, I'm going to say LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what you look at as GOAT. Like, is GOAT just like MJ because he was an absolute killer, ice in the veins? Or is it like the GOAT to you, the best overall basketball player to touch the court, which I feel like is LeBron? So I see we're looking at these cards now. Speaking of a guy that stands out on this list, of course, we know Chris Paul has been doing his thing, but Chris Paul's at the end of his career, which is crazy. The way that he's playing, it's even more impressive, right? And if anybody was hesitant, like, oh, he's a compiler, Chris Paul hasn't won the finals, but is he as good as we think he? Nah, come on. Like this playoff run, he has solidified himself as a true first ballot, one of the best point guards to ever play the game. But a guy that stands out, though, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell has had some moments in his career. And what makes him impressive is that when he first got in the league, he was this high-flying jumper. And we're like, damn, this dude, he kind of got that Vince Carter flair to him. Highlights, he gets buckets. But, like, if he catch you on a fast break, it's going to get real nasty for you. And he's going to smack some shit into the stands like we're seeing right here, right? But then he got into the three-point contest. And we're like, wait a minute. I didn't know Donovan Mitchell can shoot like this. And this was after he was in the dunk contest. And then him being out this year, that first game back, and they're like, Donovan Mitchell is trying to convince his coach to play this game, and it looks like he won the case. He came out for Ryan. So Donovan Mitchell, like when you talk about potential, because what happens is we get real excited. When we're collectors, we get real excited about what we just saw. Donovan Mitchell, like the trajectory of his career and what he did in this playoff run, like that right there gets you real excited for the future. Like, how good can he be? If we know he can jump and get to the bucket whenever he wants, like, is he going to continue to shoot like this and evolve as a shooter and become one of the best in the game from the three-point line and mid-range? Like that's what gets me real excited about Donovan Mitchell.
Nate, do you think this would be kind of like a good starters collection for someone maybe just getting into TopShot?
Yeah, no doubt about it. A couple of questions you'd have. And I think a lot of it is influenced by what people are saying, or even some of the pundits on TV would be Ben Simmons. Even though when he first came in the game, we were giving him compliments and saying he's like a LeBron Magic hybrid, but a little bit more athletic. He's a dominant player. But a lot of people right now are lighting him up. And if you look at his numbers, his inability to create his own shot and take over in moments that matter the most, I think we're all starting to wonder, like, has Ben Simmons hit a ceiling? Like, and it's crazy to say, but like, is this going to be the transition where Philly gets rid of him and then he goes to another team and plays a different position? A lot of people are saying, yo, take the ball out of his hand, make him a small forward. That way he can play on the wing, get to the bucket, and play with his back to the basket. He don't have to worry about shooting three-pointers. He can work on his mid-range and work on his bank shot. He could be, somebody said Draymond Green, but I don't really like that comparison. If he work on his mid-range, I think he could be more of a slasher. If anybody's familiar with Stacey Augmon back in the day, he could be like that. And then, another guy that stands out is also D'Angelo Russell. I think he'll come in and show glimpses, and we're like, "Ooh, okay, that's the dude that had ice in his veins." Like that's D'Angelo from the the Lakers. After he snitched on Swaggy P. Like that's that D'Angelo. Like, I'm not taking shots at him because he's with one of my favorite teams. My brother actually coaches for the Minnesota Timberwolves, so shout out to my brother Kevin Burleson. But like he'll come on. And you're like, yo, where you been? Like, you can't be banged up. Like, we need you to fry like this every single night, because he has that like slick way of getting his own shot, like James Harden, that lefty kind of unorthodox style of getting buckets. But we just want to see it more consistently, and I feel like those are a couple of guys, Ben Simmons and D'Angelo Russell, where you're like, all right, is there room and potential for them to get that much better, or is like their ceiling closer than we think?
One other question for you, just from like an aesthetic standpoint, how do you feel about how they do like the name, the series, and then the owned by here? Do you like the position of all of that?
I like it. Yeah. I mean, I would like the strength to be a bigger focal point. We know the name of the guy, like you don't have to, like, I get it. Like the name is the biggest thing on most posters and cards, but what made posters really cool back in the day was the subtleties within the poster that left an imprint on you. So if I'm collecting, I want to look at the player's strength, like you're describing, like Batman's utility belt, or like Superman's attributes. Like I look at athletes the same way. I still do. Like I'm a fan of these guys. So if you're describing a guy, I want you to be like an unguardable pull-up, or the craziest Euro, or controlling the court. Like I want like these like definitive statements that make me feel like, yeah, I'm owning something or somebody that has a skill set that not a lot of guys have. Those are things that like make collecting really cool. One of my favorite posters of all time was Deion Sanders standing over the globe, and he's just sitting there. He got the sauce with the gloves, and he got the headbands, wristbands, and it said, "Water covers 3/4 of the world. Deion covers the rest." And I was like, oh!
I love that.
What years old, and I'll never forget that. So I feel like that could also be like another layer to it. It doesn't have to be the welcoming screen when you click on your athlete, but it could be another like a layer that when you click on it's like boom, and it makes you feel even that much cooler when you're collecting.
Hey, Nate, I don't know how much longer I can keep this charade up, but this is your page, and these are all moments that Club Top Shot chat just gifted you right now. Every moment you were just talking about, these are all in your account here.
Ah, that's dope. Well, and B's been cooking. He's been doing his thing. I saw my name came up. I was like, maybe 206. Oh, snap. But I like that, though, man. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the game now.
You are in the game, man. Yeah, I was hoping you said this was a good starter collection, because it is your starter collection here.
It is. Listen, I'm heavy on Chris Paul, bro. I'm heavy on Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying? That dude's a legend. I got a Hall of Famer right there. You know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid's been getting busy. You know what I'm saying? Donovan Mitchell, we talked about it. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Nate, we gotta teach you about IQ right there in between Embiid and CP. That's my guy.
I thought when you were going in for Mitchell, I thought you were talking about this up and coming young player. I thought you were going right for IQ there.
IQ is a beast, though. Hey, and listen, another guy who stepped up. And that's exciting too about collecting. And I think that's the risk versus the reward, right? You can't really lean on your traditional analyst on TV, because IQ might not be a guy that they talk about routinely. But if he passed your eye test and then your gut says, yo, this dude is going to be special. Like, I know he's waited a moment for, him to get this opportunity, which they talked about time and time again when we were watching the postseason. But if he's frying and you're like, yo, I like this dude. Sometimes you just got to go with your gut. And I think that's a big part of it as well.
Well, Nate, I know you got the early wake up call tomorrow. We're going to have a few other guests roll by. We're going to open up some packs. You are more than welcome to hang, but I also got to be respectful for your early wake up call here. Yeah,
I appreciate it, man. I got to jump off. The wife is upstairs giving me that nod. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I gotta go take care of my most prized collectible of all times, which is Reggie. You know what I'm saying? But I'll do it again, man. We gotta do this again. This was fun.
For sure, man. Everyone, you can check out Nate, of course, on Good Morning Football, NFL Today as well, and maybe an NFT coming here soon, right, Nate?
Ain't no maybe about it, man. We're going to get it popping. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, we're looking forward to more Calvin Johnson scooter stories, because that was incredible.
No doubt about it.
Thanks, Nate.
We'll see you, Nate. Awesome.
Who has a pack, Pete?
So we have, I have a pack with Trey, who's going to hop on. Also, the VIPs who I sent the link to, you guys are more than welcome to jump on now. Trey should be jumping on shortly. And then Jack, you have a pack, correct?
I do.
And I have a NBA playoffs pack.
Oh no, that's not on this show, Andy.
I have a couple. I have a couple Pez packs.
No. Tonight is Holo night.
Hello.
This is for the
Holo.
true whales to flex on everyone else tonight.
Would we be able to could I put up my Holo pack as leverage to buy more Bitcoin at its ultimate low because we're all buying the dip?
Does Floaty offer that yet,
It's
Mike?
the Floaty question. Floaty doesn't offer anything yet, but yes. So I actually don't know if the packs are NFTs themselves or if they are just a facade that cover NFTs. I don't know how that would work. And
You're
do you
calling
know
my pack a facade?
like maybe
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know if they're NFTs. Then the answer would be yes. If they're not, then the answer would be no.
Okay.
I don't know. And Andy doesn't know, so that means no one knows yet.
I can't say I've really had some time to dive into the code of the packs for NBA TopShot.
I also haven't
hasn't been
had
at the top
time.
of my
Otherwise, I
list.
would.
We got Fuzzlightyear from the
What up,
Deposit Kingdom
Fuzz?
Discord. What's up, Fuzz?
Buzz.
What's up, fam? Top Shot. Club Top Shot. What's up?
What's up,
Fuzz
dude?
Lightyear is a great name.
That is a good
Oh,
nickname.
thank you.
What about
Thank you.
Fuzzlightyear? I feel like that'd be good for some of the crypto people right now. SharpCheddar.
How we
Sharp
doing?
in the
How we doing?
in the Miami.
Are those
Look at
both
that.
Tyler Hero jerseys?
Yeah,
What are you wearing right
Yeah,
now?
the gold, limited edition, serial numbered.
Wait, and you got a lav mic? Are you a media professional? What's going on here?
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. Aspiring.
Okay, no,
One of these days.
Okay.
One of these days.
Pump your bags.
pump your
Do you
bags,
have
yeah.
Do you have a podcast or you're just getting ready here?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just getting ready. I've been following various content creators, just forever. And I'm not gonna lie. To kind of toot your horn a little bit here, your story about quitting your job made me order the rest of my equipment.
Wow.
Okay, hang on.
Inspiring.
You can order equipment, just don't quit your job quite yet.
No, not at all.
Well,
Right now, I'm in the hole. That's why I needed this Holo icon. So, pull my bags
He's
back
down
up.
bad.
where are you broadcasting from? I notice a twang in your voice.
Yeah. I'm from the great nation of Arkansas.
Okay.
Great nation.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
I
just
missed something in geography class.
What about you, Fuzz?
Pittsburgh.
Okay, there you go.
Shit, nice.
There you go. Awesome. And I think Fran was going to maybe try to join us. He was coming from playing golf. I think like Pete, he was doing everything he can. And Trey's going to be joining us here soon. But fellas,
Before we
yeah.
do, I just want to issue an apology. The show is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Campaign had 16 points in the first half, so that one's on me, fam. That one's definitely on me. We're on his under 13 and a half, so that was an L. But I think eventually on this show we'll hit one pickup.
I think
maybe.
we're 0 for 4 on
Maybe.
club parlays.
Yeah, we'll see.
Not doing well here. Okay, yeah. Speaking of Underdog in Pittsburgh, Fuzz, are you in those best ball streets now that they're in Pennsylvania?
Oh, it's in Pennsylvania?
Yeah,
Since
man.
when?
Since
like a month ago. Yeah.
Wow. No, I played when I was in Florida for a bachelor party about a month ago. Lost a couple bucks, but had a great time.
There you
So I
go.
will definitely be jumping on those drafts.
Now, who is this? Is this TK? He's from the club VIP. Are you the guy that posts the water heater pictures?
Yeah, I'm water heater guy. Pete, honestly, fired up, baby. A 3-month-long bit paid off today, guys. Exciting times.
Let's go to the screen.
Yeah, finally got my water heater. Tracked it down on the final walkthrough today. There it is, tucked away. Sorry to disappoint my guy, Lou Dog. Willis.
What do you think?
I wish it was tankless. We all do. You guys are being very polite, not saying anything negative about this water heater. But feel free to let me have it if you see something that I botched here. But I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Wait, what do I not know about
WH.
water heaters? What's wrong with having a tank? That feels like a part of it.
No clue.
I honestly don't know why we're shaming him either. There's some big
He's shaming
hardcore.
himself. We're not shaming him.
See, I'm glad to hear you guys are fine with the tanked as well because I felt like a complete idiot, Pete, when I came in the Discord, dropped my first water heater picture, and people are like, "Oh, You got to go tankless, bro.
Who said that?
I don't know, but literally I heard that and I was like, it's tankless or nothing for me. But as you can see, I settled for a tanked water heater. But looking good, and another 5 years from now, when I install the tankless one, the bit will pay off once again. This is a long-term investment in bit
That's going to
equity.
be a crazy one.
Did you just move in?
I close tomorrow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Congratulations. And yes, as I don't know if people kind of quite put this together last week, but we are fractionally invested in this Holo pack. I decided that I would just cut Trey into all my EV.
Isn't this the nicest guy you've ever heard of? I'm just happy to have a piece of PD packs. Nobody runs hotter. My luck in the Bulls lottery today, it was terrible. The Bulls are probably the biggest loser in the lottery, so I'm happy to be riding on your coattails, bud.
No, do you know why I mainly did it, Trey? Because I'm thinking like we have meetings twice a week to kind of just talk about how we're feeling about the moments, what we want to do. Maybe we list it for like 10 minutes, get regrets, and we pull it off. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, the level of partnership we're going to have here.
Yeah, maybe we could try and get a deal with HGTV. They have the Property Brothers, Moan Brothers. I don't know. We can think about it. I know you're slinging content full time these days. That's a 3-minute video right there. Easily, I'm in.
I don't want to break up the Top Shot Hot Boys, but I couldn't help but notice Skeets got a Holo pack, didn't seem willing to cut you in. It would seem like a natural fit. You guys do a show together. You've built that show brick by brick. But it's old Pete over here that's willing to be your true friend.
Noted. I'll mark it down.
He goes, no comment.
Drive a divide in the basketball chemistry. I love this.
No. That's I'm happy. I'm happy.
Enough said, Trey. Enough said. Okay. I say we rip some packs, guys. I think it is time. It's Holo night here. Shout out to Nate Burleson for bringing the heat. Let's do this now. Yo, what up? It's DJ Pete over Zat. Welcome to the club. We didn't think things were going to get popping tonight, but it's about to get lit. Behind door number 2, it's a 3-pointer. 13-25, Kevin Durant. We're going to get a LaMelo. We're going to get a Luka. We're going to get a LeBron. Victory reveal. Let's go. God damn it. I don't need another layup. To the window. To the wall. The De'Aaron Fox stripped down my ball. 293 assists. Everybody get their drinks. Let's get a cheers tonight before we open up these nice packs. Cheers to everybody. We got Fuzz.
I'm freaking out. You're
freaking out, Jack? Why?
We're in maintenance right now.
No way. Seriously?
I don't know if that's pack maintenance, but we are in.
No. All right. Well, we're going to try this. Let's stay calm. Positive thoughts.
No gifting, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, definitely no gifting right now.
But.
Do you think they saw like a flurry of accounts going to Nate B206 and they're like, shut this down?
Yeah, shut this.
These multi-accounters.
Oh, speaking of that, I need to out myself as a multi-accounter. So everyone's like, ooh, Top Shot drama. So I
explain yourself.
Lost a lot of money in Top Shot moments on the Sixers because I thought there was literally not a chance in hell they were losing that series. Double down after game 1. They were even minus 310 in the series. Then they're 7-point favorite, whatever. So I lost a ton of money in moments. So I did win a moment on the Bucks over the Nets in game 7. So the guy, without asking my username, just sends it to Jack Settleman, right?
Oh.
And so he sends me a screenshot. I'm like, I don't have the moment. He's like, I sent it to Jack Settleman. My account is J Settleman 23. And so he goes, takes a screenshot, and there's like a Mason Plumlee and then the Quickly he sent that I won the bet on. And it says August 2020. It was late in my head. I thought he was saying August like 2021. So I thought it was a brand new account who was impersonating me. So I tweeted out, I'm like, what does Top Shot do? If someone's trying to like thinking like someone would do that, trying to get moments. And then I realized like August 2020, that was probably me in the very early days when I signed up with like just one email, and then I ended up using a different email for the account I have now. So they looked into it. I mean, I haven't done anything with the account, but they're shutting the account down. So apparently I was a multi-accounter, and so I know everyone tracks everything on the blockchain. So I just wanted to get out ahead of that. But
I'll see you in TopShot Court.
Yeah, the VIP service, which is quick to respond for the top collectors.
How is that?
It's good. Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, when you talk about utility and access, that's really what you're looking for. You would think someone with 10 million in TopShot moments would be able to get into the VIP club, but apparently it's just not cut out for you, Mike.
Well, Jack, I saw you post that on Twitter, and it seemed like everyone was super happy for you.
Yeah, so I was more posting that as like a, hey, there's VIP service. That's cool. And of course, people were like, fuck you for no reason. And why aren't I in it? And I'm like, people, like, I just got the email 2 seconds ago. It's probably in beta of the beta. Who knows? But I don't think I'll really ever use it besides get apparently my other accounts shut down.
We got a 9-box. It's Fran Millionaire, fresh off the course. I can tell you were just at the course. I believe you.
We're Brady bunching.
Uh-oh, we got a little bit of a lag here on the internet, but we see your bright smiling face. How you doing, Fran?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on, guys. Sorry for the late arrival. We got kicked off of the course 8:45, just as the sun was going down. Made it back to the city and hopped right on.
There you go.
Where are you, Fran?
I'm in Chicago, the city.
There you go. There you go. So between us, we have 5 holo packs to rip tonight. We got Fuzz, SharpCheddar, Fran, Jack, and Pete. I say we get things going here. Let's see. Cheddar, you wanna get us going here with the Chrome?
Do we even know if we can open up a pack?
We're gonna try, Jack.
All right, hold on.
I went to open up my playoff pack, and it seemed like I was able to get to the page to like press the button to open the pack, but I didn't do it. So I'm optimistic.
I feel like that's like as far, but there was no gray out on open. I think that's
sign.
It
looked like I could. It was blue.
Okay, all right, let's go, baby.
Done.
All right. SharpCheddar, it'd be my honor to explain this to you, but if you know how to do this from, years of watching this show, then I would also be impressed.
Man, even if I could hack my way through it, I don't think I'd get the right experience if I didn't let you walk me through it.
That's right. That's right. As a budding content creator, you know how important it is for me to actually explain how to do it. Okay, I want you to go down there to the share screen button. There's a little plus there.
All right,
I want you to delicately click it. Don't hit video file, hit share screen. Then you're going to see 3 possibilities here: entire screen, window, Chrome tab. Do not hit entire screen. We do not want to see the funky shit on your desktop. Hit Chrome tab. However, don't rush to click the TopShot link. That's what everyone wants to do. You need to go down to the bottom left. It says share audio. This is absolutely critical. Some people don't like the audio. They say we can't hear anything. And I say, shut the hell up. Without the music, this is nothing. So you click the share audio button, you select your TopShot page, and then I will see it in the hopper.
Let's do it.
This is SharpCheddar. This is why you quit your job, is to this, so that you can create incredible content like this.
Okay, SharpCheddar.
And be tech support.
Here we go. Please, TopShot, be working. I mean, this is going to be the most blue ball pack experience ever if this doesn't work.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I think we're good.
Come on, baby.
We're running.
What's our dream poll, Cheddar?
Okay, here we go.
Wait, what's the number one in Jersey situation? Are there any big things we're going for?
I know LaMelo number 1's gone.
I guess we start ripping comments.
I think LaMelo 2 is out there though.
Yeah,
start ripping a couple I don't think condoms.
That's when you open the pack, you rip the condom.
Yeah.
Game winner.
Get back. Let's go. 150 Milwaukee Bucks comments to get eligible for this pack. So pumps my back.
Yeah.
Jason Tate. I'm ready.
Hawks in the finals. You heard it here first. Atlanta Hawks 2021 NBA champions.
You're crazy.
Yeah, no way.
Jack, where are the Knicks, bud?
Right there on the screen.
Not a bad little cereal.
No, that's not bad. It looks like Cole Anthony #1 is still available. I'm clicking through to see what else is available.
Dennis. Hawks win.
That's huge. Yeah, TK, good call out. Dunking over Kevin Herter? That means
Wow.
that's up 40% this week.
This is a further moment.
Okay. One more comment. Another Knicks.
Knicks back so quickly.
Look at the score of that game. In Boston, 30 points. Whatever.
Oh, that's a crazy blowout.
Jack, how many Quicklys do you own now?
Not enough. I'm working on it.
Second team all.
I should clarify, how many on the primary account do you own?
Oh, here we go. Oh, 30, 70, Javante Green. Very small forward for the 2022
Wait,
Oh, that was fun.
Chicago Bulls.
does Kobe White take a transition deep two right there? Is that what he
That's that
does?
new era
I mean, that's the
basketball.
Kobe White special, baby.
That's
That's
right.
what he's best at.
The next
All right,
J.R.
better.
Smith.
Get to the good stuff.
All right, we got
Get you a
1,
boot.
2,
Get you a boot, baby.
3. What we got? Somebody give me a number.
3.
Down the bottom.
Lakers, let's go.
Okay.
Ah. Oh, I was at this game.
Chicago's finest. Caruso. That's nice.
All right, 1, 2 on the top.
Yup,
2.
Y'all.
Timberwolves, 187. Yeah.
Russell.
Oh,
And he might get traded.
who would trade for him?
Ooh.
What would be that situation
D'Angelo
where he
for
gets
Ben
traded?
Ben Simmons. Who says no?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone says no.
D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns are friends. They don't break up friends.
All right, one more Angeli. Ooh, another Lakers.
Oh,
Same one.
THT's cool.
THT.
The moment's so nice, you had to get it twice.
All right, here we go.
Money time. Let's go,
Here we
Shadow.
go.
Come on, baby.
Come on.
All right.
Come on.
Rip it.
Hornets. Lakers.
Lakers. Legendary 33. Kyle Kuzma.
Kuzma.
I do like this play.
Kuzmania.
Oh,
Do we
That's
think
really
he's
a
on the Lakers
Bismack
next year?
Biyombo. That's a Bismack Biyombo moment.
All right, post-game interview, Sharp Cheddar. How we feeling after that pack pull? Good hustle out there. You did break a little sweat between the MGLE and the Holo, but otherwise, great performance from you. He's still
Okay. Yeah, now we're good. I think
Listen
we're
to the
good.
Nah,
Beats.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I did in fact get 10 moments. I was super happy about that. You get your fun facts of the day, like Kyle Kuzma's still in the league, and it's those life's lessons. But no,
how we
it's
feeling
awesome.
about the double THT? I know for a lot of people, one THT is a lot to handle, but you now have two.
I mean, you get these guys with these split last names, and you get concerned. You don't know which is which. I got Horton and Tucker, so you just don't have to worry.
There you go. Awesome. All right, Fuzz, Fran, who's up next? Who wants to do this?
I'll go. I don't mind.
All right, Fran, let's do it, man.
All right, you're gonna have to walk me through this.
Wait,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
walk
Here
me
we
through.
go. Here we go.
Fran,
Wow.
who are you a fan of?
All right,
What
oh.
squad?
Pacers, Indiana Pacers, born and raised in Indiana.
Okay.
So,
Favorite
yeah.
player on the Pacers?
It's been a tough couple of years.
I mean, it's got to be Sabonis, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Oladipo, I went to Indiana as well, so Oladipo there for a while. But what he did to us, he's wanted to go to Miami since the day he got to Indianapolis. So he's dead to me now.
Wow.
All right, Fran, I want you to gently take your cursor, and I know your hands are probably still a little tired from a long day out on the course, but take it down to the share button here, okay?
Yep.
I want you to slowly click as you're just putting in one from about 2 inches, okay? Very delicate. Once we get up there, we're going to survey the fairway. We don't want the window is the middle of the fairway. We're actually going to want to, this is a bit of a dog leg right over to the Chrome tab, okay? You're going to select that. Now we're going to double back, okay? We actually needed a 4 caddy for this hole. We need you to select the share audio here. It's hard to see the entire distance. You collect that share audio. Now we have a straight shot right up to the Chrome tab, okay? This is just a 5-iron. We're about 165 yards out. I know you hit that a little light. It's going to be a perfect. Select that. And boom, we're going to be a chip and a putt away from a holo pack here, Fran.
Okay, let's see.
Were my instructions not clear?
So I clicked share screen, and then
Oh,
it says
no.
screen sharing tips.
You shanked it.
Oh,
Come on, man. I'm
here
from
we go.
He already
Arkansas,
gave
and I
you
got
all the
it.
sharing tips you need.
I'm there. I'm here. Wait a second. Share audio. There's the box. Share.
This is a good question. Okay.
All right. Are we there?
We're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
There we go.
You did it.
Oh, baby.
But did he share audio?
Yeah.
really-
Check
Yeah, I
the
saw
box.
the audio.
Oh
down there.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go. Anybody you looking for?
I've had pretty bad pack luck generally, but me and John Rahm believing in the power of positivity, I got something good coming there. I haven't got a legendary pack. The one I qualified for last time I didn't get it. So this is my first big one, but so I got something good coming. I can feel it.
All
right. So Cole Anthony #1, or we're disappointed.
Exactly right.
Kieran Jackson.
AJ.
What's like the best common Series 2 that's like still out there? Anyone know?
Number
I don't know.
48, Anthony
I'm
Selman.
not sure.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of the
Oh, yeah, the wedgie.
Number 48 wedgie moment. Still in the pack.
Eddie Martin
AJ.
Jr.
Trey, what is the current wedgie count for the season, including playoffs?
56. An all-time record, even in a short season. They're saying the ball is juiced. We're saying Spalding did it because they're going out. Leaving a mark so high no one will ever reach it.
I heard Haynes has something to do with it too. Big underwear these days.
That's right.
Trey, have you guys ever actually given each other a literal wedgie as part of the bit? That'd be good content.
Shaq gave Skeets a literal wedgie.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, this was early on. If I'm not mistaken, he still has the underwear to frame something.
How do you not keep that?
A very Bradley.
I didn't realize that this was his first moment.
There we go. Back cut. It's one of the most fundamental
That's like the
moments.
most.
Yeah.
That's the most Avery Bradley
basic,
moment
yeah.
ever.
Yeah, there you go. Caruso.
Not often you get one of the top daily fantasy players in your Top Shot pack.
Get him. Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Bunch of Top
we're
Shot
getting all the
debuts, though.
obscure debuts. Yeah.
Jason Tate,
Oh, Raptors.
Raptors, MPLE.
Pascal Siakam. This is going to be a spin move.
We might might get an FDD in the club. No, we cannot. It is literally the last thing I will ever do.
Ooh, that's nice.
Hey, Sadiq is Bay.
First team all rookie. He was good.
Partial jersey.
Yeah, shout out Villanova. Go Cats. I was surprised he got first team.
Yeah, I didn't know he was good.
Come on. Here we go.
Oh, let's go. A little Poku. Let's go. They're going to need him to step up next year after the bad luck with the draft.
I've never seen this guy in my life. Is that Greg from Succession?
So he's like legitimately like 7 feet tall and like 180 pounds.
He's got a guard skill.
That's good. I like that. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Fran. Timberwolves.
I don't know who. Oh, there you go. That's pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice. Not too bad there, Fran. I mean,
What's the postmortem?
yeah. How you feeling out there? I mean,
close out of their Chrome tabs first.
please do.
All right. I can't complain. Pretty status quo for my Top Shot experience. Got in at a pretty bad time. I've just been riding it out the entire time, thinking I'm going to get a break, and honestly, haven't gotten the break I was looking for. But we're just going to keep riding it out.
Are you having fun, Fran? Are you having fun?
Oh, so much fun! I love collecting.
Fran, I feel like help me out here, NBA thought leaders. Cat is top 15 player in the league, top 20?
No.
I don't know how you have.
I'd say
Cat,
20.
His rep is
Russell,
that.
Anthony Edwards, and you win like 20 games. I don't know what the deal is with that team.
One of the top 5 T-Wolves for sure.
Yeah, he's a starter in the NBA.
He's not top 20 player in the league, but he could easily be top 5 centers if you want to.
I think he's top 20 in the league. You don't think he's top 20?
No, not even.
Well, like
Big bounce back
two
next
years
season.
ago.
Big bounce back. He's already been all NBA, I think, even at like 22 years old.
He's
He'll put up like
a
30 and 15.
unbelievable offensive
He's
talent.
not bad
Yeah.
by any stretch, and could be a Knick soon. So I'll be careful with what I say. But he's not top 20 in the league.
He is in my book.
Just 2 years ago,
I just
he
made
was
my
voted.
rankings.
Yeah,
He was voted like best young player to start a team around by the GMs. Like he
2
definitely-
years ago, NFTs were not a thing, Andy. So you gotta live in the moment.
We
You
need to
gotta
talk
live
about
in-
crypto.
From KAT to NFT in 2 years. Just like that.
Well done. Well,
What's the market min on the Cat Holo right now?
Andy's on the page, I think.
1650-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
1650?
1685.
I think he's
There
in
you
the
go.
challenge.
There you go, Fran. Top Shot just gave back
Still
to you.
buried.
Yeah.
Still buried.
Seek a little rent. Seek a little rent.
Fran had some really
better
good
in
tennis
best ball, though.
takes in the lead up to the match. Fran, you play some tennis?
I did. I played club tennis at Indiana, so
wow.
Some good takes.
Actually,
I know.
a good story for this stream. Gordon Hayward was actually an all-state tennis player in Indiana, and Gordon Hayward's last tennis victory was against me in his high school career, and then went on to play at Butler, and then got drafted. So,
What was the score in the match?
oh, he beat me 6-1, 6-0. He
Oh,
served
you
in
got the
volley.
game, though. You got a game?
Yeah, I got one service game. That was my strength, is my serve, and yeah, I got one game off of him. But he's, as you know, like a serve and volleyer, and just destroyed me. I had no chance.
Goodness.
Yeah, hitting it
That's
past
cool.
him was
That's
probably
awesome.
not very easy, was it?
Oh no!
Well,
I mean, by
but
the
he
time he
was-
got to the net,
Yeah.
I couldn't get it around him or over him.
Yeah.
How tall was he back then?
I mean, he was like 6'7", 6'8".
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, he
Basically
had
fully
a high
grown,
kick
Jack.
serve, and I was like
Yeah, he
back
was
at
in-
back at the fence, like fending them off, and he was up at the net, just putting him away. It was
That is
pretty
a good
brutal.
story.
All right, Fuzz. It's time for you
All
to
right.
share your screen.
I mean, if you want to do the honors, I've been.
I'm running
listening.
out of bits. I'm running.
But
Just
I
share the
got you.
fucking screen, Fuzz.
Do the golf thing again. That was good.
I was thinking about trying to attempt a screen share tutorial in like a Pittsburgh Yinzer accent, and then I said just do it.
Great, pump your bags a little bit. I was listening to the Beach Steppin' pod today. You guys were talking about potential Ben Simmons trades. What was your favorite one from the pod?
I want the Bulls to give up nothing and get Ben Simmons in return. That would be my ideal trade. Like the one that actually makes sense for the Bulls is like Zach LaVine for Ben Simmons, basically. But then it's like, what's the point if you're giving up your best player to get another good player? I don't know. But if you want to give up Patrick Williams and Kobe White, that's fine.
TK, Ben Simmons for Jeremy Grant and the number 1 pick. Who wins that trade?
I wouldn't trade the number 1 pick for Ben Simmons.
That's what I said.
Not a chance.
They said I was crazy. I said Philly would do that in a hot second.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Fran, I don't know how to tell you this. You didn't share the audio.
Oh, boy.
What, Fran? I did.
No, yeah. Pete, that's on you. Fuzz.
Sorry, Fuzz.
Yeah.
We're even.
You're now Fuzzlightyear for that.
In honor of Ja Rule, one of my favorite guests, I would like to spark up if that's okay with the host.
Hang on, let me see this.
Okay,
guy.
fuck your audio.
Okay, you were so worried about this blunt bit that you forgot to share the audio. What is this?
What's in your head? What is that?
Is that a lava lamp?
The real smokers know what this is. This is a Puffco Peak Pro, a vaporizer. Peter
No free
Jennings,
ads.
get that volcano out.
Is that like a new innovation? I've never seen
That is 100% a lava lamp, and you can't convince me otherwise.
All right, sorry about that, Andy.
I really
Andy's
wish
so
we would have had
stubborn.
you share the Chrome audio before you sparked up. No, okay, I think we got it here. I think we got it. All right, Buzz, get
Plus, what are you
lifted.
doing with the device right now?
Oh, here we go.
He's getting high, Mike.
Is that a joint? Oh, he's got something else. What does he need that for?
4 hours later, Buzz. Jason. All right, Buzz, let's do this. He's ripping.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, he doesn't even watch the moment. I love it.
Oh, he is ripping. Miles Turner.
He's ripping the blunt. He's ripping the moment.
Buzz
He's
Lightyear
going
at the
everywhere.
speed of light, opening this pack. Buzz
I've never
Lightyear. Moonlight Night Club.
Yeah. I want to watch these.
Nas Reed.
I like that. Reed.
Look at this Buzz. No chill whatsoever. I love it. Rip.
You guys have seen all the moments already.
Just hit reveal all.
Now, what's that crazy?
Oh, Jared Allen.
Okay, Jared Allen.
760. Okay.
Wow.
Ty Jerome.
Let's go.
Those guys have 2 first names. You gotta look at them.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go. MGLE time.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We're getting warmer.
76.
We're getting warmer.
Oh.
Wow.
Two more balls.
I'm getting really hot.
Balls.
Come on, another one.
Double THT night. Double Lonzo Ball night.
Triple Lonzo. Oh, Jay Sean Tate.
Please.
Oh, ball.
To the window.
Wall.
To the wall.
Wall ball. Is there a taco
One
ball?
more
That's
ball.
fun.
A hollow ball.
All right,
All right,
let's
here
get
we
it
go.
up. Let's get it up.
Let's go, Fuzz. One time, Fuzz.
Is he drinking now too?
Yes, Buzz.
Oh, you got a little Kawhi Leonard action?
Surge.
Serge Ibaka.
Yeah.
990 out of 99.
90. Get it out.
Wow.
Oh, that
Get
was
it
nice.
out of here, Valanciunas.
It's a John Morant moment.
Sean Tate.
At the moment.
Fuzz.
Hey, where'd the hat come
What's
from?
the
Incredible.
Tell us what the hat was.
Oh, you're a
Oh,
Clipper.
he even had the prop.
Oh,
ready.
there we go.
Clippers bucket.
What a bucket
Look at
hat,
this,
yeah.
Fuzz. You came ready tonight. How you feeling? Post game interview. You feeling chill? You feeling relaxed?
I'm feeling great. Feeling great right now.
Yeah. What was your favorite moment there?
Definitely the Clipper. It's a Holo Clipper. I'm a Clipper fan. Ibaka, it's my guy. So I'm happy with it. The other one.
Are you not watching the game?
Kind of buzzed through me. It's right over
Okay,
here.
all right.
Jack, if anyone knows about multitasking, it's you, buddy. Come on.
No, I realize he's a Clippers fan, and the Clippers are in the Western Conference Finals for the first time ever, so I figured he might be tuned in. But that's what we love about the club.
To come to the club, baby.
Exactly.
That's right. Jack, you ready?
I'm up.
You're up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Is this the longest string of pack openings we've ever done?
It's
Pretty
yes.
good
Yeah,
one.
because
Getting up there.
yeah, I
here
mean,
for
and
it.
normally our packs have like 3 moments, maybe 5.
Get the
Can we
moment.
talk about the fact that we've never ripped a number 1 or a jersey in the club?
You just
I've
reverse
never
jinx
opened.
yet.
I mean,
I've
we've
never
like, I
opened
don't
a
know,
number 1
100
jersey.
packs. How is this possible?
I mean, how many packs have you opened in your life? And
That's
how
true.
Many ones
Willis ripped 10 in a row last week.
Wait, Mike, how many packs have you opened in your TopShot career, and how many ones in jersey matches did you?
I have opened way fewer packs than you would expect. I think I've opened maybe 40 packs.
Okay, and how many have you hit?
I think 1.
Okay, so there you go.
So I think that would. I mean, if we're using that exact ratio, I would suspect we'd have opened a couple at this point.
Well, I've opened a lot more than you, and I've opened 1 and I hit 1 on a challenge.
Yeah, I hit 1 on a
It was
challenge
literally
too.
the worst possible challenge.
What
I'm
challenge?
To ever get. It was Cody Zeller.
Sick.
I got the Kawhi Leonard MGLE jersey.
All right, should we do it? So
Jack,
you're saying
is that collector score? Is that combined from both your accounts, or is that just on this one?
the accounts have not been merged yet?
Oh,
so
congrats.
my Cody Zeller hasn't made it over yet. Speaking of Cody Zeller, all right, here we go. Holo legendary pack. It's
Let's
not
go,
every
Jack.
day.
Come on, bud.
Come on, baby. I'm very excited. This is cool. Cool
This
moment.
it's cool. We can cut
yeah,
the. This is
yeah.
Cool, man.
Are we ready?
Jake Sante.
Jake Sante. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Lefty guy. All right.
Come on.
Michael
Go.
Older.
That is a deep cut player.
Michael Mulder. That's a nice finish. That would be a top 10 play in 1997. They'd be like, how did he do it?
I think Fran had to head to the 19th hole.
Donkey.
Let's go.
Miami runs on Duncan.
Wet.
I heard that, Sharp. I like that. Miami runs on Duncan. I like that.
Taken straight from their Instagram. I'll take care of that.
Handles.
Taco Fall. Longest moment on TopShot.
Oh.
You got to watch the whole thing.
Oh, got him.
Oh. That is handles. All right. Ellie. Once again, that is not a jump shot, TopShot. That is not a jump shot.
Nice.
There we go. A little rookie action.
Spin. Dunk.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting nervous.
One more common.
One more comment. Okay. TB debut.
Come on.
Oh.
That was kind of fun. I like how he just nonchalantly walks away.
All right. One, two.
MPLE time.
All right. Here we go. Come on, IQ.
Come on. Bucks.
357.
Lopez.
Oh, nice pass. Nice finish. Look at that. Through the legs.
The net.
NBA Finals champion and Brooklyn all-time leading scorer, Brook Lopez.
Amazing stuff. Oh yeah! Oh, you know it. Oh, this is his Bulls debut. Oh man.
That's his Bulls debut.
Yeah. You know what that moment's going for right now? The number 8 pick in the 2021 draft.
Come on, IQ. First. Hey! That's
I love
my
Derek
boy.
White. He's awesome.
Whoa, that's a weird moment.
Pretty weird.
Cool.
You're gonna have to get
Unique.
him on Club Top Shot. All right, here we go.
Let's go, Jack.
All right, Cole Anthony, number 1.
Lamesius.
Let's go.
Please bring you to
I believe.
Come on, baby. Hornets.
Oh,
15. That's pretty good.
that's sick.
Come on. Oh. Ah. Wow.
That's a nice pull.
That's like a top 5 in this set for sure. Top 4.
Wow.
You know, it's nice to see a multi-accounter finally come out on top.
Oh. Yeah. Should we open the hollow pack from my other account now?
Oh.
Yeah, let's do that. Jack, nice pull there.
That was amazing. Hollow packs are amazing. D Book, Finals MVP. D Book potentially.
It's on the table. He just got smashed in the face by Patrick Beverley. He's bleeding all over. But man, he's been balling.
And then D White. That's actually a friend of mine.
Friend of yours, yeah.
Tell us more.
Yeah, tell us. Give us. We need a piece of details.
Derek
to prove your friendship.
was he was the first guy that we ever interviewed in person. He's a very nice player, and I was begging for him to have a Top Shot moment for a while there, but now I got his MGLA.
So I mean, you interviewed him. That hardly qualifies for friendship. I mean,
in
he's
person.
a great guy. I don't think he's
In person.
Okay, yeah.
In person. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Trey. Will you please walk me through how to share my screen for our pack?
You're gonna go to share screen down here at the
Okay,
bottom. It's gonna pop up. It's gonna say share screen.
Yes, I did it.
Why do you have to share screen twice? I don't get it. You press it again. Don't get in a hurry here. We don't want to see your entire screen.
No.
It's like an MC Escher picture when you do it. It's kind of funny at the beginning, but then you'll freak out. You go to the Chrome tab. You share your audio. You did it? You did it. Go to the Chrome tab. Share your audio. Choose your Top Shot tab. Then click share. It's a 3-click process once you get to the final of the 3 menus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I did it.
There we go. There we go. Did you share the audio?
The audio is shared. This is going to be a walk-off pack. So just want to say thank you to Nate Burleson, who is terrific on the show tonight. Hopefully get him back in the club. I feel like he immediately slots in with some of our other favorite all-time guests that we just immediately want to have as a recurring figure on this show. So that was a blast. Clay, the man behind our Twitter account, set that up. So shout out Clay for doing that. That was an awesome get. And shout out to our VIPs, SharpCheddar, Fran, who dipped, Fuzzlightyear. Hope you guys had a good time in the club. I know Fuzz did. I mean, Sharp, are you thinking about getting faded or what?
No, bro. No, I'm good, dude. I'm loving it.
Mike, thank you for sharing everything about your tennis match. I know you left it all out there tonight.
I did. It may result in a match against Nate, so I think it was well worth opening my heart up to the club.
Pete, I couldn't help but notice that you were talking about CryptoPunks in our CryptoPunks group chat through most of this show. Any takeaways about CryptoPunks?
Buy them. That's it. I mean, every project's copying them. I mean, how's that not good for CryptoPunks?
That's right. Andy, fresh off a meeting Ferocious. How you doing?
You know, I'm good. I'm drinking a Bud Light Seltzer Cherry Lime.
Wow.
Honestly, I would say not sponsored. Try the Bud Light Summer Seltzers. They're a good
Nah.
Not sponsored.
No.
Jack, you're coming off your Devin Booker high. Can't even imagine what you have in that second account. Trey, good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
Wait, before
Good
you
luck
start,
to me.
what's the split? Is it
I just
50? Is it a 1/5?
No.
Is it a
I cut Trey in 50-50. I haven't hit him up yet for his $120. I know he just bought a water heater with a tank. We'll
He's
figure
down
it out.
bad. He's down bad.
Oh, I'm down bad. Eat more tomorrow.
All right, Trey.
Let's
It is
go.
time.
All
This is our
balls.
moment. I'm going standing guest for this.
Yeah.
Blast it. Blast it.
All right, Trey, give me a number.
3.
All right. Come on.
3.
Luka?
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, good start.
Can you
I
imagine
think
if
this
they
is against
pulled
the
number
Bulls.
2 Lamella?
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, Trey.
1.
4.
1. There we go. Oh, a dunk. DeAndre Hunter. Come back soon.
I would
Boots on the
kill.
ground, full
Be
feet,
at the
Trey.
parade, DeAndre.
I would kill to be the come on guy.
Okay, Trey, give me another one.
10. 10. Bottom. Yeah.
Kristaps.
Oh, we got
Hell.
a mask
Nice,
back.
nice.
Hey, Pete, when you start pulling Mavericks, you know what that means. It's time for you to invite your old pal, Mark Cuban, into the club. You know it's time, Pete.
Come on, Mark. With a pack. What else we got? 9. Let's do 9.
I can barely hear you. We're going to have to go sign language here soon, Trey. Colin Sexton.
Sexy.
2.
2. Oh, it's a dunk.
Max Stress.
Russ.
Let's go.
He's from Chicago.
I realize I haven't been watching the
Yeah,
moments,
nice
but it's more about the friends.
Can we watch the Max Stress moment? I don't think I've ever seen him play basketball.
We gotta go 7.
Clay, hopping in the club. Clay, what's up? Clay's coming in for some good luck.
Oh,
We're
shit.
down to our MPL East, Trey.
That's right. Top right, that one. Oh yeah.
John Collins.
Collins. The baptizer. He's got good dunks. Oh.
All right.
That's nice.
All right, Trey.
Gotta get the bag. Middle. I think we got a middle MGLE. There we go. Oh, wizard here.
1-1.
Oh, 1. Yeah. Rookie.
Really?
There we go.
That's nice.
Trailer.
All right, Trey, we're getting down to it.
I think we got 1 MGLE left on the bottom. Yeah.
Rapid, give me an FPV. Give me it.
29. Oh, that's got Siakam.
Nice.
Good cereal.
29.
The dish.
Oh, that was nice.
What was that, crispy shake?
2-time Siakam tonight. Here we go.
All right, Trey.
That's
This is a moment of
number
truth.
8.
This is a
Number
walk-off.
2.
No matter what happens, the show is over. Thank you
go.
to
Let's
everyone.
go.
Trey and I will forever fractionally own this moment. Let's go. Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
Legendary 23. Chris.
What up?
See you guys.
Middleton.